There we go. Anybody?
Oh,
You? Are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Are we doing this?
Is this a local
Yes,
wine
it
here?
is. It is a local wine.
Sponsored
by?
by?
Yeah, the Million Wine Bar. Sponsored by the Million Wine Bar.
Beautiful.
Yay!
Wait, how he does it?
Okay.
That's what it does.
Now we're gonna start. Here we go, and I will start the recording.
You want to bring yourself in here?
Yeah, I will. Okay, guys, we are back for the part 2 of hey, thank you. Part 2 of the Friday the 13th series, and I was talking to these guys earlier. Friday the 13th was a franchise of 8, and then we had the Jason franchise. So let me just say, I did love Freddy versus Jason. I'm just gonna go ahead and say.
Do you like how that all turned out? Do you like,
It was deeper than what you think.
Think it was deep?
How
It was
so?
deeper than what you think.
Nah, what's it?
Okay, so if you look at, so we're looking at Jason. Jason's this, that, and other. He is a major jobber if you really think about it. Like like if you had to hire him to do jobs, that's what he's gonna do.
Who, Jason or Freddy?
Jason.
Oh.
Jason is the jobber. Like he just comes in, he whacks you. He don't give a shit who you are. He just come in and whack you. Freddy, on the other hand, has to have souls. He has to harbor those souls. So what happened to Freddy versus Jason? So Jason got taken up at the end of what? Jason Goes to Hell, correct?
Yeah, getting taken down.
Freddy's bad
glove
comes in. So here's the real reason. The reason why we don't know until Freddy versus Jason, but the reason why is because Freddy has an idea. He said, maybe if I can program Jason to do my bidding, I can harvest those souls that he'll gather for me, and then I can bring back in the dream world and frighten everybody to remember me. Because Freddy is a god of dreams, basically. He's Morpheus. And just like all gods, you have to pray to him. If you don't pray to those gods, which like Zeus or Hera, all them gods, any of those, they lose their power. They have to be preyed upon and to be known to have that power keep going. So if he's the god, like the god of nightmares, basically, that's what Freddy would be. And if he can't process, because he can never die unless he gets those things out of him, but he can never die. And so for him, he needed that to happen. So he used Jason as that jobber for that. Until that fight that he brought when he was like, okay, I'm tired of Jason taking my kills. It's kind of like playing Call of Duty. When you have your homeboy, you shooting, you're doing the work. You're doing some work, and then your homeboy just comes in and keeps nicking all your other guys, and you're like, hey, bro, go get your own. You know what I'm saying?
But so you're saying that Freddy pimped out Jason for some souls?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, because it's Freddy. Damn right.
I didn't look at it that way, did you? I didn't look at it that way. But
Freddy,
yeah, I can see it.
Freddy loves the kids.
So you're saying it was basically like a multi-level marketing scheme gone right.
Gone right. It gone completely right.
Oh, gone right.
It gone right. But here's the story. Like, so if you think of the story of Freddy and Jason and how they ended, they brought them back because Freddy still wants those kids off of everybody. He's going to do it on a global scale if he could. But first he's going to get all the ones that had cursed him. He got the last remaining one that was from Elm Street, right? The last parent's kid.
Right, from Elm Street.
Right.
Okay.
And so he just kept going. And then he got stopped. And ever since then, he couldn't come back. So he goes, I'm going to get Jason to do this. Jason does it, but Jason is overpowering in the real world. And he's just taking up the kills. And he's not giving Freddy the chance to even get those souls, right? So he's like, you know what? I'm going to bring him into my facility. I'm going to bring him in my domain and tell Jason what it is, right? And so he does all this other stuff. Makes Jason think back to when he was a kid. He put him back in a fetus position as a kid. And he was like, Jason was like, oh, he was actually scared. Yeah. He was actually scared. And so when he finally got out of that, Jason was like, I'm going to beat your ass. He put back on the black Air Force Ones and looked at him and was like, I'm going to run your ass. Run these hands, bro. Run these hands. He dragged him from here to there. Freddy was like, I can't beat his ass on this shit. I can't get my ass whooped right now.
Did you ever think about
you
it
describing it that way? Actually, I was gonna make the point that the reason that I don't love it maybe as much as I want to is because it seems to me like a Freddy movie. It's like a lot more of a Nightmare on Elm Street than it is a Friday the 13th.
Yep.
Sometimes it seems like they favor him, but honestly, the way you describe that, they do give Jason his due.
Well, Jason beat Freddy.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. He does beat him.
I mean, he can't die, but I mean, he did.
It also made me think about how how Freddy used the same methodology to chip away at Jason that Tommy did.
Yes.
And that, it's a lot of that like parental generational
here's the thing.
trauma type of thing.
Freddy understands that Jason is still a kid inside.
Yes.
And so he plays upon your fears.
Right.
He plays upon your weaknesses. I mean, he's a
child predator.
He's a demon. He's a demon. He's of 1,000 maniacs. He's a freaking demon.
And they elaborate on that. I know this is a Friday the 13th
episode,
but they elaborate that on that in like New Nightmare, like Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Even in Freddy
because
vs. Jason.
he's it's really meta in that one where they're making a new Freddy movie, but they're talking about him like you said, and they kind of like actually summon this entity which is Freddy.
That's another series that we should talk about at one point in time because there's several Nightmare on Elm Street that I'm just like, really? So that's something that we could.
If you go back and actually pinpoint all the stories without all the crazy wackiness that Freddy does, if you look at it at both of them, if you look at them simultaneously back to back, both of them don't like kids.
Yeah.
One is playing upon kids the way he wants to, like any other pedophile that you would know around the town. And then you have the other one was made fun of and then pushed off and drowned. And for the rest of that life, he's like, fuck them kids.
That's like to get away from like Freddy, like all of that is just to say Jason did win at the end of that, right?
Yeah,
we do agree that Jason won. Beat his ass, I'm just always going to be Team Jason. They're cozier movies to me. They're easier to watch. Friday the 13th is a very like lush. I am all about exteriors. When I watch movies and I see that like in those first couple movies that New Jersey lake front, and the tall trees, and then later on they get into California and some of that stuff, and then they're just an easier watch for me. I want to be in those places more than I do in A Nightmare on Elm Street. They're just a more fun.
I don't ever want to have a nightmare like that. I don't ever want to have a nightmare like that. And I don't ever want to meet up with somebody like Jason, just for the record.
Here's the thing: if I meet up with someone like Jason, I can escape Jason. I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
I'm going to run. I'm not going to look back. I'm going to jump over shit. I'm going to be playing like I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. Jumping and moving and grouping, bouncing off of trees and shit.
That was not the case in some of these movies. We were talking about this off air, and I said in Friday the 13th 3 and 3D, you have this female standing up there going, why are you pointing that at me? Stop pointing that at me, the spirit gun. And just stood there and kept having a conversation with a dude in a fucking mask.
Yes.
And then he shot her and killed her. I'm like, you deserve to die.
Jason couldn't even hear that.
Jason don't even talk.
Jason heard this. Womp, 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 womp.
He has Charlie Brown.
He does have Charlie Brown. He just looked at her and was like, okay.
I'm going to kill you.
Like, he was like, not going to run?
I guess maybe she thought it was Shelly because Shelly's been pulling pranks the whole time and he's been pretending he's dead. So I guess that's it. But like,
Shelly's not even shaped that way.
You're right. Good point. Yeah, you're not going to look at this 9 foot tall stacked ass dude and be like, Shelly?
What did she say? She said, here, take my money.
That's a good point. You blasted my point right out of the water.
Okay, and here's another thing that I know. So,
Try to give her some chance. Give her a chance. No chance.
And 2, he comes through the window. And
there he is.
And he has that potato sticker. And then at one point in time, I can't remember, you may be able to help me on this. When we actually saw him, he had hair.
Yeah. He had a little bit of hair.
He had more than a little bit. He had a comb over.
Yeah.
A beard.
Yeah, over time, though.
And then he started to lose his hair. And I was like, when did he lose his hair?
Because he kept dying. He kept, rotting more and more.
So. And just getting older, too, I guess.
But yeah, I mean, over the years.
Testosterone.
I mean, he got burnt. He got
Yeah.
pitched.
Oh, he did get burned.
There's so many things.
Well, he stayed in the water like 3 or 4 times.
And you guys know that's that part 2 is 2 different actors playing Jason.
Oh no.
Yeah, actually, Warrington Gillette is the guy, is the face that you see at the end when he crashes
through the window.
He gets a lot of the credit. But Steve Dash actually was all of the stunt and acting you see of him walking and all of those shots. That's Steve Dash.
Wait, what is it about these fools jumping through windows, walking through the doors?
You're talking about the 80s, man.
Because I think in every Jason movie or Friday the 13th movie, he busts through a window. Michael Myers walked through windows, walked through doors. Freddy Krueger's always coming up out of something.
He busts up, yeah.
He busts
Okay,
up.
so here's the thing. So Michael and Jason are practically the same. They are the unstoppable force.
Yeah.
They are going to walk through everything. They are a one-man tank. All right. Freddy, on the other hand, is like a jester. All right.
Yeah.
He likes to show himself. He likes to pop up out of nowhere. Here's the thing about Freddy that I don't like about him: his tongue.
Yeah.
He is a tongue guy.
They threw that in there a lot. They utilize that. They know it bothers us. They know it.
So gross.
They know it.
I mean, every time, every chance he gets, dude on the bedpost, I'm going to. But you got to think about it. He's a what?
Oh, he's a pedophile.
Yeah, and that's in the third movie.
The crazy thing. That's why I'm like, ugh.
It makes anybody like it's such an easy
Freddy.
Anybody's gonna turn away.
Freddy is the most cringiest, creepiest.
Now that you said it that way, I just look at him as a nightmare. But now that you said it that way,
he's creepy.
He's a pedophile. I mean, that's why he
wants to put himself into these deaths. And he wants to be a part of it.
And
Jason's just getting the job done. Like you said,
he
wants to be. He gets off on the last thing that these people experiences their worst fear. And he wants to channel into that. But Jason just
I'm gonna power through your shit.
Yeah.
But Michael only wants the family. Jason only wants. Jason is like Shrek. Get off my land.
Yes.
Don't. I mean,
Crystal.
That's a great.
He's really it. Yeah. You get on his shit, on his property. He owns all of it. He don't care who you are. He's gonna find you doing his Jason magic.
They tried to change it to whatever. I can't remember what the name they changed. Crystal Lake to something green.
But still Crystal Lake.
They tried to change the name and gentrify. It's like
it
no,
felt
he's
like
not.
It felt like Jaws. It's okay, everybody.
Yeah.
You can get back in the water now.
Yes, exactly. They did
That's true. Jason was just hurt from the very beginning because of the campers.
Kid.
Yeah, it's
he's a trauma kid.
Or the council kids or whatever it was. It's definitely it
was everybody's fault.
A childhood trauma reaction to everything.
I relate more to Jason than I would ever relate to Freddy. The only reason why I like Freddy is because he got Joker things.
Yeah.
He's like the Joker.
But he has an unsympathetic character.
It was same as Joker from Batman. Like, you like these characters for how they convey and do their thing. And it's an art form, the way how they do it. But at the same time, you're like, nah, man.
And what would you say about, I know we're talking about Friday the 13th, but Jordan has some good points here. What would you say Michael Myers?
What do you mean?
You said Jason is the jobber. Freddy is the pedophile.
Oh, Michael Myers, family man.
He's kind of a ghost too. In a way.
He's not a ghost. He's a specter. He's a wraith. You would consider that. I mean, like
they call him the Shape.
The Shape.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they call him the Shape.
But he had a situation when he was a child. He murdered his sister.
And that's almost
also trauma. But they don't talk about what really happened.
No,
Michael really got fucked up because of his parents. Mm-hmm. His parents is the reason why.
Oh, but you're referring to the Rob Zombie.
Yeah, but as far as they don't really express that much in the other
in John Carpenter.
And so the first one, he sees his sister having sex, and
he goes off. Yeah.
Why did he go off though?
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently, there's always
trauma
a trigger
somewhere. Or trauma somewhere.
So the sister probably always talked down to him. Always said.
Always having sex in front of him.
Always having sex. Always supposed to be watching the kid.
It's neglect.
It's a lot of neglect.
Neglect.
Parents, where the fuck are they at? A whole bunch of neglect. So he felt like he was by himself and alone. And at this point in time, he was just like, you know what? I'm going to revenge on everybody.
But according to Dr. Loomis, he was pure evil.
That's okay. I laugh about that so much, and I've talked about it with Jason, my partner, a lot. It's that maybe Loomis is just a shitty doctor. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I've never seen anything like that. Any other doctor's going to be like, antisocial personality disorder.
So did you know that that
he had no guesses.
Mr. Loomis and Carpenter did not really like each other that much?
Oh, the actor and Don?
Oh, Donald Pleasance was drunk the entire time.
Uh-huh.
And in the fourth movie, he was supposed to have burn prosthetics on, and he was like, no, I'm not going to wear it. And he just denied. So that's why it's not the, like...
It throws the whole movie off. Here's the thing about Donald Pleasance.
Continuity is off.
Well, here's the thing. So, what you just said, maybe he's just a shitty doctor. You're probably
he's
right.
He's a fucking shitty doctor. That brought me to another recording that I made.
Oh, Lord. Come on.
This is from the fifth movie, okay? And this is after Tommy has, in the fourth movie, stood up for his sister Trish and murdered Jason. He's now in a mental institution for troubled teens in Crystal Lake, or close to Crystal Lake. And this is from the fifth movie where the imposter... it was not Jason, it was paramedic. But this was
the blue one.
The camp counselor, doctor, therapist, owner of this camp is reading off Tommy's diagnosis, and the casual nature of his voice cracks me up so hard every time. It's the way he says this is like he deals with this every day, and it's just so not something anyone anywhere deals with every day.
He just can't be very nonchalant.
Let's see here. Let me make sure my volume is up all the way. Here we go.
Real talk. I noticed. How they diagnosed it? Severe trauma at age 12. Brutal self-defense, murder of a psychopath killer. They didn't give him any treatment. Therapy didn't do that.
Says at age 12, brutal murder of a psychopathic killer. Like, he says that like it's a common cold. Like, he's like, yeah, he has ADHD. He murdered a serial killer one time.
I think he's fine.
I think a lot of these movies, dated in the 80s and 90s, things were just like that, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Things were just like that. He murdered some people,
When we were watching this, I said, this is the reason why you should actually fucked up. This is the reason why you millennials are fucked up. Yeah. Look at the boomers. The boomers did y'all dirty.
Yeah.
Then y'all did us dirty because y'all were mad at the boomers. That's why.
And it just kept going.
That's all
It just kept going.
That's all the 80s was. The 90s was like, let's bring peace and happiness and joy. No.
I tell you what, this is going to sound really bad. But some of those movies just got me through life. Like,
absolutely.
I don't know people like, how does a slasher movie get you through life? It just did. My mom was the one to introduce me to horror movies from the very beginning. People are gonna clutch their pearls when I say that, but I was 4 years old when I first saw my Dracula movie at the drive-in. And did it scare me? Yes. But I continued watching. And then there was the trilogy of terror. And that is another one with that Zuni doll. Freaked me out. I couldn't sleep. I just couldn't sleep. But there were so many of them. But my mom and I watched those together. It's just memories.
And gives you that feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That it
nostalgia
gives you that
feeling.
Closeness, that camaraderie feeling. I'm glad you brought that up because much like the exteriors, those things that make me happy, I'm watching these movies with the camaraderie and work ethic and behind the scenes stuff in mind. So I'm thinking about how fun it was for these actors to get this makeup put on. And I'm thinking about how fun it was for this. And of course, it's just like any Hollywood production. There's probably some shitty things that happen to people. I'm sure, sexual harassment probably happened throughout, but overall, I think about these as these are young people who got to go out and make a movie and spend this awesome time together, and I live for that feeling, and these movies really bring that to me in so many different ways, from good, from true talented moments to some of the funniest bad acting.
Oh my gosh, yes, the bad acting. The bad acting.
The bad acting always kept you going, though.
So,
yes.
Question, and I know you have some more questions. Question, though. When does a franchise need to stop?
Never. Never.
What? Well, you don't think they should ever stop? Look at...
Stop at 13.
Look, Friday the 13th.
They should
Look
stop
at
at 13.
Halloween. Look at Nightmare on Elm Street. Look at Aliens. Look at Terminator. Look at all these franchises. They just keep going and going. Yeah, Predator. When do you stop?
Let me say this.
I guess we keep buying tickets.
Yeah,
exactly.
Here's the thing. For me to say this, I think a franchise will stop when
Scream.
When people change.
What do you mean?
So you make these franchises, you make all these things, we keep it going, we try to keep it up. It's at least keep it alive. One day, it's going to be a time where it's just they're not going to like it because everybody's not going to like everything. It's going to change. Look at all the way how the youngsters talk about all this old school shit. They're like, most of them don't even acknowledge that. Like there's kids today that's just now figuring out that Regulated from Warren G and Nate Dogg comes from Michael McDonald's. I keep forgetting.
Yeah,
just now figuring it out. I'm just using that as an example.
So much of that stuff is from like Parliament and like
a lot of it.
Yeah, they don't know anything about Funkadelic.
They don't think about it.
They just think Dr. Dre.
Exactly, and then they're gonna go back, and then that's about as far as they're gonna go. So, like I said, one day, a franchise I think needs to stop either when they can't find the right people that are fans of it. I think most good directors and writers have to be at least a fan of what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you just make it, if you just make it just to make it, then it's whatever.
I tell you right now, I say that I'm not gonna go. I say this to him too. I'm not gonna go. They're doing a remake of a classic. I'm not gonna go. And guess what I gotta do? I buy a ticket and go.
Yeah.
I buy a ticket and go. The Exorcist, for an example.
Yeah.
You can't remake the original, and they didn't. They have another one.
It's a prequel.
It's something
like that.
Something like that. I don't even know if it's a prequel, but I'm gonna go see it because of the fact that I want to see what they're gonna do. And I think that's the reason why a lot of these franchises have kept going because we keep buying the tickets. I'm the prime example. I've seen all the Friday 13th movie in the movie theater, including the 2001.
That's
the only of 2009. The only one that I didn't go see, that I refused to see, was X. Because I was like, how in the world did that happen?
Space.
He goes to space.
So I'm a sci-fi movie guy. I like sci-fi.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna mix something with horror, it needs to have a really good reason why.
Yeah.
Jason X to me was not a good reason.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He's better grounded. He's better on Earth. Why would you put his ass in space? Fast and Furious, that new one. Why the hell are y'all going to do that shit in space? First off, we know now it's safe.
Wow, I'm hearing this for the first time.
Hold on now. Fast and Furious 1, 2, and 3 was grounded.
Yes, it was.
You liked the movies because they were grounded. 4, 5, and 6. 4 and 5 still kept that grounded, but you saw it leveling it up.
Well, Paul Walker passed away, and that really went to shit.
And then after that, they were like, let's just fucking kill it.
I would argue that there's a happy medium between when a franchise gets a little bit lofty before it takes way off, and that's
if you started off with cheese, ended with cheese. Make it Limburger if you got to. I don't care.
I like queso, dude. I like a little bit of rotelling.
Yeah, I know, right?
Honestly, that's what Jason X is to me. It's like a Chipotle queso. It's not queso exactly, but it's good. And in this franchise, part 4, they said we're killing it. It's over. Let's make this over. It made a shitload of money. Mm-hmm. They said, okay, well, how can we, renege on this a little bit? And then they made it an imposter. They tried to do the anthology thing, which I think they were maybe trying to do the Tommy thing, and maybe there were some rewrites. After that, people were pissed. Lots of people went to see it, but then they were pissed that Jason wasn't back. The audience spoke. They brought Tommy McLaughlin, the director for part 6. Mm-hmm. He was like, can I have fun with it? Can I make it like a gothic horror?
It was
Can
definitely
it be fun? And they said, you can do anything you want, just don't make fun of Jason. Jason has to be scary. So
they made fun of Jason though.
They do, but
he was still scary though.
They make fun of the idea, but they don't put a tutu on.
I can't take somebody serious.
They don't really emasculate.
I can't take somebody serious whose only eye got the James Bond intro.
That's true. That's right out of the gate too.
He said.
He thought,
Twice.
He pulls the
And looked at
Sean
him.
Connery.
Before we have to start wrapping up, but
Every
before we do, I want Nylan here to talk about the T-shirt he has on.
Okay.
Oh, my Tom Savini
Yeah,
T-shirt.
show it to everybody. If you
I
can
don't know if I can-
can you?
You can
Yeah,
look.
there you go.
Tom
Yes,
Savini,
yes.
The
The
greatest.
greatest. Yes.
The GOAT.
Jason.
Tell me why did you wear
Everything
him?
he does.
We have, I gotta.
Talk about that in
He's
Jason.
the master.
Yeah.
He's the absolute master. Tom Savini he's an American hero. He's a veteran. He was a combat photographer in Vietnam, and he firsthand saw the horrors of gore, like true gore,
Real cool.
and he
Shit that won't
became
keep you up at night.
absolutely true stuff, and he became obsessed with trying to bring people a piece of that realness, and he succeeded like massively. He's my favorite makeup artist of all time. He spawned, countless copycat. Well, I mean, not copycats. I would just say that he set a lot of trends.
Yeah, he did.
He set a lot of inspiration and motivation for others to do just what he was doing.
And he's not a
absolutely
CGI
the man.
guy.
No,
Yeah.
he's the man. He's got
No
a
CGI.
makeup school that, if I could do anything I want, I would love to. That would be so cool to
It'd be hard
to
as
do
fuck,
some stuff.
though.
Oh yeah, that he's
Yeah.
demanding.
All right, so we're going to wrap up with this last final question, and I think you asked us this, but I don't know if we said this on air. Who's your favorite Jason?
Are we talking actors or just movie?
Oh,
Like, our favorite-
I'm sorry, movie. Yeah,
our
in the
favorite-
movie.
Our favorite.
Favorite Jason.
In the movies, not the actors.
It's really hard to say. I'm gonna say 2, just because I think that he was the most disturbing to me.
I agree.
Yeah,
I'm going to go with 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say 2.
I have a tattoo
Shaq.
of
Do you?
the little sack.
Oh, you do! Look at that. Yeah, I was going to say 2. I think that's when it was most real to me that this man
Yeah,
grew up.
gritty.
Yeah.
It's gritty in that
Yeah.
one.
You, J-Dog, J-Fit.
Jason X, right?
It's terrible.
The one with the secret back. One see Jason 5.
I think it's 6 or 7. It's one of those
Oh.
two.
Well, it's not Kane.
It's not Kane Hodder,
It's not
so
Kane.
it's probably
It's,
6.
It's an older one. One of the older ones.
Yeah.
And that one where he just popped up. We were like, oh. It's not the imposter.
Max.
Maybe it was.
With the sleeping bag?
Well, there's one because he does it a lot.
I know the sleeping bag was in 2009, and I was like, holy hell.
They
That was
They
a
all
remake.
redone.
That was a remake.
Because they liked that so much. I mean, it was so great that Mortal Kombat
New Blood.
next year.
Oh, it's New
1988.
Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's New Blood.
So that is part 7.
That's that.
New Blood.
New Blood is
The
part
Judy's
7.
death scene. Is that the sleeping bag scene?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that one right there, he was pretty brutal. That and I played the game, Friday the 13th. The
So
game.
that's Kane Hodder.
That's
was
That's
Kane.
Kane?
That's
That's
Kane?
Kane?
Okay.
That is Kane Hodder.
Uh,
All right, guys. Well, I got to wrap this up because I got a few more minutes.
I just wanted to say, we didn't get a chance to talk about a gem that was in there. Kevin Bacon.
Oh,
Kevin
my
Bacon.
God. Kevin Bacon. That's
That was
right.
his first, wasn't his first movie?
Oh yeah, and you see Kevin's bacon in that.
Oh,
You
yeah.
do.
You see Kevin's bacon, and
He has a lot of bacon.
He has bacon, and he has
And bits. And bits.
some other things.
Okay, anyways, let's wrap this. Thank you, Jay Fitz and Nylan, for being on the show tonight. We will have to do this again, but I want to come back and do it again with Freddy Krueger.
Oh yeah.